Christmas Eve. A nearly empty diner. A mother with $20. Two children pretending they weren't hungry. Maria already knew the look people gave her. The kind that says, you shouldn't have brought kids into this world if you couldn't afford it. And when the Hells Angels walked through that door, she was certain tonight was about to get worse. She didn't know that judgment was about to lose. She didn't know kindness was about to take revenge. Christmas Eve pressed down on the diner like a held breath. Outside, snow fell slowly, not magical, not cinematic, just cold, wet reminders that winter didn't care about your problems. Inside, the lights were dim and tired. The kind of decorations put up out of obligation, not joy. Maria sat stiff in a cracked vinyl booth, her back straight, her hands clenched around a menu she already knew she couldn't afford. In her coat pocket sat one $20 bill. That bill wasn't just money. It was rent that hadn't been paid. Electricity hanging by a thread. A future that felt like it was shrinking by the day. Across from her sat Lily and Rose. 7 years old, twins, identical faces, but eyes far too aware. They weren't looking at the pictures of pancakes. They were watching her. Kids can sense fear the way animals sense storms. Maria smiled anyway. A practiced smile. The kind mothers wear so their children don't see the cracks. Lily leaned forward first. I'm okay with just fries, Mommy. Rose nodded immediately. I'm not that hungry either. The words hit harder than hunger ever could. Because kids shouldn't have to lie about being hungry. Maria's throat tightened. She looked down at the menu again as if the prices might magically change. They didn't. She ordered one plate of pancakes. To share. No drinks. Extra water. And then Lily, brave, shaking, asked for one hot chocolate. As it was Christmas. Maria did the math in her head for the 100th time. And nodded. Then the door opened. The bell rang sharp. Conversation died instantly. Heavy boots hit tile. Leather vests. Snow-dusted shoulders. Patches stitched loud and proud. Hells Angels. Maria's stomach dropped. She didn't hate them. She didn't know them. But she knew the looks people gave men like that. And she knew how quickly fear stacks on top of fear when you're already vulnerable. She pulled the menu closer. Made herself smaller. Rose's hand slid into her sleeve. Maria whispered, "It's okay." But she wasn't sure she believed it. Behind her, laughter rumbled. Low, rough, but not cruel. One man didn't laugh. The graying beard. Eyes sharp, observant. He watched. Noticed how Maria tore sugar packets in half. How she slid most of the food toward the girls. How she pretended to eat. How her children watched her instead of the food. He knew that look. As once. He'd been that kid. The hot chocolate arrived last. Steam curling like fragile hope. Maria pushed it toward the girls. "Drink first," she said. She didn't notice the man standing. Didn't hear the chair move. Only felt the shadow fall across the table. Her heart skipped. Slowly, she looked up. Leather. Power. But his eyes weren't hard. They were gentle. "Mind if I sit?" he asked quietly. Maria wanted to say no. But something in his voice felt safe. She nodded. He listened. Didn't interrupt. Didn't pity. When she apologized for rambling, he shook his head. "No need," he said. "I hear you." He stood, walked to the counter. Spoke quietly. Maria's chest tightened. She whispered, "Please don't." But it was already happening. Plates arrived. Not one. Many. Turkey. Mashed potatoes. Rolls. Vegetables. Dessert. Another hot chocolate. Maria stared like the world had glitched. Tears fell freely now. "Why?" she whispered. The man sat back down. "Because once," he said softly, "I was that kid counting bites." He gestured toward his brothers. "We look rough," he smiled. "But we're family men." Then it happened. One by one the bikers stood. They placed gifts on the table. Stuffed bears. Scarves. Toys. Lily gasped. Rose covered her mouth. Maria broke. He sobbed, not from sadness, but from the release of being seen. The diner applauded. Not for bikers. Not for charity. But for humanity winning. This was the revenge. Not fists. Not shouting. Not humiliation. But kindness demolishing judgment in public. Every person who had silently judged Maria had to sit with the fact that they were wrong. Hope walked out that diner wearing leather. Sometimes revenge isn't destruction. It's dignity. It's proving that struggle doesn't mean failure. And that goodness doesn't always look the way we expect. If this story moved you like this video, tell us in the comments. What's the most unexpected kindness you've ever witnessed? And subscribe, because as long as stories like this exist, humanity isn't done yet.